Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on what is probably the final Beatles reaction. I originally wasn't going to put out my reactions to most of these albums because I'd been sent them in on stream and I didn't really want to turn them into videos, but Chivo decided that he wanted to edit every single Beatles reaction that I hadn't already edited myself. So of course, thank you to Chivo for doing that. I think he said he's going to be doing some of the Beatles solo albums that I've listened to as well, which is pretty exciting. Some of you have been asking about me listening to Yellow Submarine and Past Masters. I'm not doing Yellow Submarine, not a chance in hell. But on a album wheel that I spin that, Chivo has for editing these videos and stuff, he can like put an album on the wheel and then spin it. If I land on it, I listen to it on that stream. He does have the Beatles Past Masters on there, so I will be listening to it at some point soon, but I'm just not too sure if that's going to be turned into a video or not. Of course, just like all the other ones, this is taken from a viewer music submission live stream from a couple months back. We do these streams every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 3 PM UK time. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, you can stop in, send me some music, say hi, and just yap about songs and albums for a little bit. I have now, of course, reacted to every Beatles album. All of those reactions are in a Beatles reaction playlist on my channel. It will be linked at the end card at the end of this video, or you can go to the playlist section on my channel and find it there. As always, these videos are just my opinion. They're not meant to deconstruct the Beatles or be hyper-critical and give objective views or anything like that. It's just me sharing my opinion and wanting yours in return so it can create some interesting discourse. And of course, like and subscribe. We're on our way to 2K. We've actually been gaining a lot of subs from these recent videos, so I greatly appreciate that. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed from watching these. And yeah, with that being said, enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Human Reviews channel, and today we are listening to Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles. That's right. I have been sent in 5 Beatles albums by Chivo today. I got sent in With the Beatles, I got sent in A Hard Day's Night, I got sent in Beatles for Sale, I got sent in Help, and now I am listening to Magical Mystery Tour, the final Beatles album before I finish their discography. They've been a wild ride of a band to listen to. The vast majority of their stuff is just top tier 60s rock music. I mean, if I take a look at like my list here, Abbey Road aged wonderfully, one of the best produced albums of all time. I gave it a high 9. Revolver, just such a fantastic, fun, creative overflow, 9 out of 10. Sgt. Pepper's, great concept album, super strong flow, gave that a high 8. The White Album, little inconsistent, but still fantastic, also a solid 8. And then Rubber Soul and Help are both just fantastic transitions into their critically acclaimed era that I feel like both are as strong as some of their best albums, in my opinion. Their earlier discography, I'm not quite as crazy on. A Hard Day's Night is good, but very much a mixed bag. With the Beatles is a mixed bag, but not as good. And then Beatles for Sale and Please Please Me, both are albums that I feel like very much struggle from the blander sound that they had earlier on in their discography. But I have faith that Magical Mystery Tour is going to be a great way for me to send off my experience with this band. It has 87 critic on Album of the Year, 86 user. It's very well received. I've heard I Am the Walrus before. That song's pretty good. I've heard Strawberry Fields Forever before. That song's fantastic. I think I'm just going to get straight into this. I'm very excited for this. Thank you to Makarik in the chat, by the way, right here, for putting together the playlist of the updated mixes, or the most recent mixes of all of these songs. With that being said, I'm just going to get straight into this. Track 1, Magical Mystery Tour. Oh yeah, Strawberry Fields would have been perfect for Sgt. Pepper's. Sneaky drug reference, yeah. Song sounds a little haunting at times. You don't want them to take you away. Yeah. Made the stuff without digital doors. Yeah. It's all analog. Actually, appropriate fade out. I feel like the fade out actually works pretty well. It feels like you're being driven away on a bus on this magical mystery tour. You know what I'm saying? It's one of their strongest openers. Straight up. That was a fantastic way to open this album. Yeah. This is just so explosive and so vibrant and colorful. It's difficult to not get lost in the track. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this album's a concept album. It might be. It seems to be setting up a potential concept, which I think is really interesting. The multiple switch-ups throughout the track and the tempo changes work very, very well. I feel like the pacing of this song is absolutely fantastic. And then also the horns just sound so good. They are amazing. This song is like a 9.4. Really, really, really strong opener. Setting the bar high for the rest of this album. We're firmly in prog stuff. Oh, we're firmly in prog Beatles era. While you like their late stuff, you feel it's more for the brain and less for the heart. I feel more when you listen to Help Will Rubber Soul, for example. Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I do prefer their later stuff. But yeah, I do completely get what you mean, yeah. Next up we have Fool on the Hill.
Day after day, alone on a hill, the man with the foolish grin is keeping perfectly still, and he never gives
Those flutes? I think those are flutes.
the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, see the world
to make it all fit on one line.
Well on the way, but nobody ever hears him, or the sound he appears to make, and he never seems to notice, but the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world.
This is so good. Oh, I see. That's cool.
Nobody seems to like him. They can tell what he wants to do, and he never shows his feelings. But the fool on the hill. He never listens to them. He knows that they're the fool. They don't like him, the fool on the hill.
Huh. Very interesting follow-up to the first song. That was gorgeous. Firstly, the flutes and the harmonica in that song were so good. It was so good. They added so much texture. It was so pretty. Recording of them was absolutely fantastic. The song itself just has a very trippy, dreamy, floaty feel. It has a certain silliness that is executed in a way that feels kind of creepy. And I think that was intentional, and I think it works perfectly for the tone of this song. Especially when paired with the lyrics, like especially at the end here. The fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. Nobody seems to like him, they can tell what he wants to do, and he never shows his feelings. Like, it's setting up something very sinister and very creepy, but doing it with just the most upbeat, jovial sound possible, and I absolutely love that. Yeah, that song was basically just as strong as the first one. Give that a low 9. Flying. Okay, my left ear is loving this. My right ear not so much. There we go. Oh, this one's just an instrumental. Okay. It was originally more than 9 minutes, but the version featured on the album is cut way shorter. That's good. Oh, All You Need Is Love is the closer to this album as well. Interesting. So I've heard Walrus, I've heard Strawberry Fields, and I've heard All You Need Is Love. This would have been Ringo time on an earlier album. Watch the music video for the next song. I'll watch it after the album. I'm not gonna watch any music videos while listening, but I'll watch it after the album. Flying! Good interlude. Weakest of the first 3 songs for sure, but still. Solid. Low 8, I think. Yeah. Very trippy. Feels like entering a drug trip. You got some like backing vocals, doing some la la la's in the background. Which honestly at first I was like, huh, that's kind of cringe. But then as the song progressed I was like, wait, hold on, no, these actually fit really well here. Then you get that outro that is just fantastic. Like that, the entire final like, what, half a minute of that song, where it was all of, like the reverse sounds being matched with that flute were amazing. The outro is a bit creepy. Yeah, I like it a lot. 8.3. Really good. Blue Jay Way. This one's a George Harrison song. Cool. It was written while he was waiting for them to show up. Phaser on the drums? Interesting. Is it phaser spelled like this? Actually not sure. He composed this on an organ in the dark. That's pretty cool. I think he's saying don't be long, like 2 words. As if the song's about him like waiting for the other members to arrive. That would make more sense. And also, it's what Spotify's telling me on the lyric card. That was the trippiest song so far, and also one of the strongest so far. Yeah, the phaser on the drums just sounds fantastic. That's the first thing that stuck out to me, was the fact that they had a phaser on the drums. So good. It's insane to think that the songs you heard earlier were made 2 years before this. Yeah. It's like, the progression in just 2 years is insane. The vocals, and whatever the hell that effect on the vocals is, it's just so off. Just sounds so, like, disgusting and off-putting, and I love it. The actual melody as well is very eerie. Like, I'm loving the general creepy aesthetic of this album so far. I love it. Yeah, they also had some bits where like the instrumental and the backing vocals were reversed as well, which also just kind of adds to that. I'm loving the creepy aesthetic of this album so far. It's making for like a very unique album of theirs. I'm liking it. Flat 9. Next up we have Your Mother Should Know.
Let's all get up and dance to a song that was a hit before your
They invented your mum jokes. Yeah.
she was your mother should know. Your mother should know. Sing it again. Let's all get up. Your mother should know. Your mother should know. Your mother should know.
This song, outside of the interlude, is probably my least favorite so far. This one feels like it's just the most straightforward. It feels like the one I'm like pulling the least out of. It's still very well put together. I'm still liking this a lot. It's just out of all the songs up to this point, I feel like this one's the least interesting. Still catchy, still fun. Hoping for a full remix of this album? Yeah, that would be great. Least favorite so far, still a very, very strong track. I am feeling still a low 8 on this one. I really like that one. It still has the very trippy aesthetic of the rest of the album. It's still catchy, it's still vibrant, it's still fun. It's just the most straightforward of all the songs up to this point, and the least interesting. I feel like it's the one that I would probably return to the least, because I feel like I can get a similar experience out of this song with other Beatles tracks on different albums, just in a way that appeals to me a little bit more. But still, this track's still another great cut. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, it just is probably the weakest so far, in my opinion. I Am the Walrus. I've heard this song. Can I explain what this song's about? Nope. The song's about being a walrus, yeah. 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 How's this compared to the Oasis version? Pretty amazing, to be honest. The Oasis version is... This version is... Completely forgot about the end of this song. Yeah, I've heard that song plenty of times before, and it's still amazing. It's... It takes the weirdness, the trippiness, the creepiness of this album and just cranks it up to 11, which I think is a perfect way to finish off what is, like, I guess the first half of this album is meant to be tied into the film. It's great. It's a great combination of all of the stuff from the first half of the album, and it's a nice way of wrapping it up and closing it off. I will admit, maybe the weirdness, it does get a bit much at certain points in the song. It does get to a point where I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. But for the most part, I find the song very enjoyable. I like the weirdness, I like the silliness for the most part, and I feel like I've had casual listens of the song before, and I never really mind it there. So, for that reason, I'm feeling a solid 8. Probably like an 8.7. It's a great track. I've been forgetting to take notes as well. I'm getting too focused on the music that I'm forgetting to take notes on the music, you know what I'm saying? Hello, goodbye.
You say yes, I say no. You say stop, and I say go, go, go. Oh no. You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why
Sounds
you
too
say
normal
goodbye,
now,
I
yeah.
say hello.
Hello Goodbye was released as a single in the UK with Am the Walrus as a B-side, huh?
I say hi, you say low, you say why, and I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye.
I love how whimsical this sounds.
Hello, hello. Do you say goodbye? You say yes, I say no. You say stop, but I say go, go, go. Oh no.
You know, this is gonna be like
Why you say
the worst way for me to describe this, but this song reminds me of the pyro from TF2. You know how like the pyros, anyone who's played TF2, the pyro sees everything as like sunshine and rainbows, literally like envisioning everything as like a magical realm filled with like sweets and unicorns and stuff, when in actuality everything's like on fire and everyone's dying. That's what this song reminds me of. This feels like what the pyro is seeing whilst like a nuke's going off or something. TF2 over Overwatch, correct. That's right. Overwatch is okay. TF2's better. To this day, TF2 is so good. It's so fun. If it wasn't like riddled with hackers, I'd play it more. But TF2 is very fun. Hello, goodbye. It's pretty good. Not my absolute favorite up to this point. But yeah, it's a nice introduction to side B of the album. It's still keeping up a bit of the silliness, the trippiness, the creepiness. Just not to the same degree. And I feel like that does bring it down a tiny bit. Like, especially coming right after I Am the Walrus. This song feels like we're going up here and then straight down here. You know what I'm saying? It does feel a little bit like tonal whiplash, but not to an extent that I feel like ruins the song by any means. It's a solid 8 for me. Oh, we got Strawberry Fields up next, though. I already know I like this song.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields.
Yeah, they were originally meant to be on Sgt. Pepper's.
Nothing is real.
This song would be so perfect for Sgt. Pepper's, by the way.
To get hung about. Strawberry Fields forever.
Obligatory 10?
Misunderstanding all you see.
Maybe. I'm debating it. I'm gonna wait for a full re-listen to the song.
Someone, but it all
I'll have to wait to the end to figure that out.
It doesn't matter much to me. Nothing is real.
I love how sinister this song is.
Nothing to get hung about. Strawberry
It feels like where the previous song is just seeing everything as sunshine and rainbows. This song is like the darkness seeping through the cracks and like reality being shown to you a little bit, but like still being in denial about it. Such a perfect follow-up to the previous track.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to strawberry fields.
Shows you the difference between Paul and John. Yeah.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to strawberry fields. Forever. Strawberry fields forever.
I didn't actually know that. Top 20 greatest songs of all time? I wouldn't say that, but I'm pretty sure this is a 10 for me. I don't think it's one of my favorite songs of all time, but I do think it's a flawless song. Such an interesting fade, and then it comes back in. Like, it literally feels like all of the messed up stuff going on around you is seeping through the cracks of your own ignorance. And you're sort of being like, no, Tomorrow Never Knows is their best song. I don't want to hear no Tomorrow Never Knows slander. Tomorrow Never Knows is their best song. Easily. Tomorrow Never Knows is a fucking masterpiece of a song. So good. Perfection. This song, though, I would give a 10. Genuinely. It is such a perfect follow-up to the previous song. It is literally progressing from blissful ignorance, the darkness seeping through the cracks, and then at the end there, being hit with the realization of just how messed up everything is around you. That's what that feels like to me anyway. The two songs are connected in the most perfect way possible. And it's a shame this didn't make it onto Sgt. Pepper's, but I feel like here, this song works perfectly. It would have elevated Sgt. Pepper's, but this album elevates this song, which I prefer. So, for that reason, this song is a 10. Straight up. It's flawless. It's not my favorite Beatles song. It's not in like my top 10 songs of all time or anything like that. But I do think it's flawless and the best song on this album by a landslide. It's perfect. Penny Lane. She Said is your second favorite Beatles song? Yeah, that song's great.
There is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know.
I think She Said is a 10 for me as well. That song's amazing.
The little children laughing him behind his back, and the banker never wears a Mac. Very strange. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes.
Oh, damn, for real? Alright, fair enough. Paul with his sunshine songs yet again.
Suburban skies, I sit and meanwhile back keep his fire engine clean.
This is my first time hearing this song.
Clean machine.
But yeah, I would love to hear Strawberry Fields for the first time again. But I'd like to, because the first time I heard the song I was a child. I'd like to be able to hear it for the first time again now. Having like an actual, somewhat of a musical like understanding. My own fentanyl? No. I have a video of teens listening to the songs back to back for the first time in '67. That's pretty cool. I have not been to. I don't think I have. I don't think I've been to Liverpool now. nice end to the song. This isn't one of my favorites so far, but still, the song's great. It's a surprisingly strong follow-up to Strawberry Fields, like tonally speaking, I mean. The song is very sweet, it's very fun, it's very catchy. You don't understand the big hype around Penny Lane? Should visit Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields and all those places if I ever visit. Yeah, if I ever go there, I would like to see those places. That'd be pretty cool. I don't live in Luton. God damn it. That is my least favorite rumor about me that you motherfuckers have. I don't live in Luton. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I feel like, you know, the immense hype around the song, maybe it's a bit much, but I don't, you can tell, bro, listen to how I speak. I don't live in Liverpool. I'm Southern. Yeah, well, I don't think this song is as strong as a Strawberry Fields Forever or anything like that. It's a decent follow-up. It's a nice, catchy, fun little track. It's very upbeat, which is a nice bounce back after the previous track being as sinister and as menacing as it is. I like that song a lot. It's still a great track, and I would give it like a solid 8, like an 8.4, I think. Slough? You think I live in Slough? Jesus Christ. Is that how low you think of me? Baby, You're a Rich Man. We're down to the final 2 songs. The final 2 Beatles songs you're ever gonna see me listening to. In terms of first reaction. Well, actually, All You Need Is Love is not gonna be a first reaction. Yeah, there's probably some singles I haven't heard, but in terms of album tracks, the song is the only one I haven't heard. I really like the drum sound of this album. I agree. I don't think I'm gonna watch I'm not gonna watch the music videos on stream, I don't think. I'm gonna watch them, but it's 10:30, and like, we're half an hour overboard, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be ending after we're done with the album. Baby, You're a Rich Man. My least favorite song on the album. Still a flat 8. I still feel like it's a song I would return to. I just feel like of all the songs, this is the weakest and the least memorable. Still a solid as hell track, but when I compare it to the rest of the album, this one doesn't really feel like it has that same impact, that same creepiness, that same trippiness that the rest of the songs do. So yeah, it is brought down a little bit, but still, I feel like I would return to it, so it gets an 8. All You Need Is Love. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 song away from finishing the Beatles discography in terms of albums. All You Need Is Love.
You can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy.
The intro to this song features the French anthem. I didn't actually know that.
Nothing you can make that can't be made. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy.
Oh, the song's in 7. Okay, I didn't know. How did I never notice that? Okay, it has some bars of 8, but it's mostly in 7. Like there, it just has a random bar of 8. It's 4s with 3s. It's the same thing. Still counting the same amount of beats. I just prefer counting it as 7, because counting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 in my head makes me get, it like confuses me. This is all performed live. I'm assuming there's some overdubbing going on. But yeah, I feel like the core instruments probably would have been performed live.
Love is all you need. 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 Yes, yes, yes. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Very appropriate fade out at the end of the song. Ladies and gentlemen. No. Pause. There we go. I'm finally done with the Beatles. That's it. No more Beatles content, ladies and gentlemen. It's done. All You Need Is Love. Very strong closer to this album. I had no clue this was the closer. But yeah, honestly, thinking about it, it's a fantastic clip. I'm not that, bro. I've listened to all the albums. I'm not gonna be, if I get sent in a song on one of these streams, sure. But in terms of videos and album reactions, that's it. I still have I'm not doing the fucking Ringo discography, not a chance in hell. All You Need Is Love. Fantastic closer. Very fitting way to end this album off. Sort of ties together a lot of the instrumental elements that we've had throughout the album with the, a lot of the lyrical themes as well. It's not my absolute favorite song on the album, but it's definitely a solid closer. Yeah, nice blending of a lot of the lyrical themes we've had up to this point. It still has the very creepy aesthetic. Fantastic vocals. I like the callbacks at the end, like you mentioned there. The song is very strong. It's a flat 9 for me. It's a good album. It's a very good album. Fantastic, great album. You'll notice I stopped taking notes at track 5. That's terrible. I probably should have kept taking notes, but I forgot to. I was getting too locked in with the music, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was Magical Mystery Tour. This album's great. This is the Beatles at their trippiest, at their creepiest, and at some of their most creative as well. This album has some absolutely incredible cuts. Like some, amazing songs. Like, you've got the first 2 tracks. You've got Magical Mystery Tour, Fall on the Hill. You've got Blue Way J, which is amazing. You've got Strawberry Fields Forever as well. And also you have All You Need Is Love, which is an incredible closer too. And then even that, all of the other songs on the album are still varying shades of great. There is not a single moment on this album that I feel like is dull, like it falls flat. Like, I would even consider skipping it on, like, a casual listen, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it sounds great. I'm gonna add up the scores, and then I will tell you what my overall score for this album is. Am I gonna listen to the Beatles singles eventually, either recorded on YouTube or just posting? I'm gonna get around to all the singles at some point. I'm probably gonna be sending them in on streams. Do I think the Beatles discography is good overall? Yeah. I've not given a single negative score to any of their albums. Some of them have gotten, like, 6s, but that's not negative, that's just mixed positive. Nice. I am feeling an 8.8 out of 10. Cool. Cool. Nice. Beatles are done, ladies and gentlemen. It's my highest rated 60s album. It's still Highway 61 by Bob Dylan, but I lowered it from a 10 to a 98. Let's go. We're done. Let's figure out what my average score for Beatles albums are since we're done and we're wrapping up here. Oh wait, hold on. This album's above Sgt. Pepper's. Oh, damn. Makes the top 3. My average score for a Beatles album is a 7.95, basically. That's pretty good. For an average score being, like, basically an 8, that's not bad. And then, of course, we had the best songs off of each of the Beatles albums that I listened to. We, of course, had, with the Beatles, Hard Day's Night. We had this one song off of Beatles for Sale. we had basically the entirety of Help and then also the entirety of Magical Mystery Tour. Thank you all so much for watching the Beatles reaction series. Massive thank you again to Chivo for editing all of these most recent Beatles reactions. I really greatly appreciate it. He's also been editing all of the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard reactions, and he's also going to be doing all of the solo Beatles material as well, so make sure you check those out. Let me know what you think of Magical Mystery Tour. How does it compare to other Beatles albums for you? Where does it rank among all of their albums? In fact, rank all of their albums down in the comments if you want, since we're done with them now. Let me know what other albums you'd like to see me listen to in the future. Links in the description to my Discord, my Album of the Year, my other channels, and my Twitter. Check those out if you haven't. Again, like and sub if you haven't as well. We are on our way to 2K. And yeah, I'll see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye bye.